I'm at the plant nursery right now. I'm going to be picking up 2 house plants that I purchased last week, and we're going to be having them put into the right soil with the help of one of the staff members who works here at the nursery.
The options that we have some ficuses. We could go with an Aurelia. These are a few options. This one grows to be pretty tall, but not too tall. So this is one subspecies, and this one has a bit of a different growth than this one. The elephant ears are they're great indoors. They like a lot of light. They can also get some direct sun. It's important to make sure that the leaves stay clean, so they give them some cleaning and good water. These ones, they are very spiky. They're not sharp, but the tips, they do kind of, they can prick you a little bit. But as you can tell, it's a little bit gentle, meaning that it doesn't really like strong direct sun, so it gets scorched by it. And it's very thirsty as well. It likes a lot of water, so I'm not sure that this is what you're looking for. These plants are called Schefflera. You can tell that this one is variegated, and this one is the normal one. So variegated means that you have some different coloring to the leaf, and the variegated one in a lot of species requires a bit more light. So in Schefflera it is the case. So the green one could be in a place that is well lit but more moderate than the ones that have the variegated leaves. So these ones are a Benjamina ficus. This is non-variegated, also likes a lot of light. This one is different from other ficuses that have less leaves but bigger leaves, like the like rubber tree has bigger waxy leaves. Yeah, it grows to be pretty tall but can withstand some pruning. So it takes pruning very easily. You can kind of prune it gently all around. So if it gets a bit wide, you can narrow it down. Just make sure that you don't prune the main stems. Pruning is usually to the softer parts of the plant. We definitely don't want to prune anything that is already wooded or almost completely wooded, like this branch, for example. If we cut it off, then it's a bit of a trauma to our plant, so it doesn't really want us to cut it. So I think the best options are either one of the ficuses or a Schefflera. So we can go with this one. It's nice and full. It's not extremely tall. I think this one is beautiful. Very nice plant. Okay, so we're gonna pot this palm in this planter spot. What I'm gonna do is mix the soil with some fertilizer and some perlite to make sure that it doesn't, that the soil is not too heavy and that it stays airy. So perlite is a substance. It's a natural substance, but it's a form of very porous rock that gets baked in hundreds of degrees, and it kind of puffs out and it absorbs excess water and it keeps the soil airy. So I have some roots going on. I don't need to loosen them because they're fairly loose. I'm gonna put this thing in. Make sure that it's straight and centered. So I'm adding more soil around. Let's see that I have enough over here. And going around to see that I have enough to go. I want to mix a good amount in the substrate, so I have a good ratio.
And what does that do? That allows for...
That absorbs excess water.
Talya, are you sure that this is the way we make a brisket? How often does someone have to maybe change the soil, or that's not necessary, you just add the nutrients?
Well, changing the soil is really not a necessity. It's just making sure that the plant has enough soil and making sure that it's not deprived of nutrients. So when you had a planted pot in your house for a while, then you would see that the soil has compacted for basically like 70% of the soil that it was in the beginning. It depends on the pot that you have transferred it to last. So this one, for example, we pretty much doubled the volume that it was in. So it has a lot of room to root into and grow. But I would say that with good care, it might need a bigger home in about 1 to 1.5 years, I would say. And a good indication, some plants like this one, they do they start to root down. You would see some roots kind of crawl out from the drainage holes, and also you would see some roots rising above the surface. This one is all done. I see that I have less space that I need to fill before I put this guy in. Adding just a little bit, making sure that it's flat. Okay, and then I'm gonna pry this one away from the older pot. Yeah, healthy root system, just full. So I'm gonna just help it a little bit. So
how old is this? When was it? It was planted from.
This guy is probably about a year and a half.
It was planted from seeds? What was it planted from initially?
I'm not sure because it comes from the growers. So they might propagate some cuttings. You can do that. It's just that it's not as easy with a lot of plants. It's not as easy to do. You can't just stick a branch in water and it will root. Okay, so just filling everything around. And I think I'm gonna lift this guy up a little bit because I don't feel like I have enough soil on the bottom. It looks a bit low. So now you see that the root system is all in. Maybe taking a bit out. So I'm sure that cutting soil all around. The root system of a ficus is very pervasive, so it grows if you want it or not. And making sure that a ficus has enough space is important. Ficuses have a very pervasive and thick root system, so if you don't transfer it in time, it might just make your pot explode.
So the stories that I got here to the nursery, I'm now in the office, and Talya's been helping.